Welcome in, welcome in. We're doing our league race for LNL, so this is just a screen for everyone to see.
Alright, good evening everybody and welcome back to IG8Live Esports. A bit of issue in terms of the lobby on possibly on the UK side of this, I'm not sure. But either way, we're on the Late Night Racing League for round 2 for the Singapore Grand Prix, on with a short qualifying session here at the moment. Just switching onto it live right now as we're down to about 13.5 minutes left in the session. Lap time started coming in right about now. One bit of issue on my end, and I'm not sure what's happening, but we'll figure that out in just a second. As let's see who's getting fastest lap so far. So Larson currently fastest lap in the session, and had a good result in the previous race, which we'll have a look at in just a bit. So 135.0 from him. Riley goes second fastest, 136.6. I think we'll have quite a few more lap times come in as we get on through the session. At the moment, I got a Ferrari driver without a PSN name on it, and I'm not sure who it is at this point. So somebody who's on the stream and in the session at the same time, possibly I'll have to let me know, or possibly let me know in the Discord what's going on with that, because I'm not seeing any name on this end. Not sure if it's a glitch on my end or not. I've seen it happen before, but never on my end on the screen, but we'll figure that out as we get into the session. Either way, we got Ellison third, 138.0, a few seconds off, so let's see how that stacks up down at the end of qualifying. I think it might get a bit closer as it gets some more laps in. Of course, street circuit here, so a bit difficult in terms of getting some of these laps in, so guys are going to have to be a bit careful with that and try to avoid invalidated laps here as well. Got Waltz here fourth, 138.2, not too far off from Ellis there. Dutch guy in fifth, 138.5, another few tenths off. Deadcon currently 144.0, needs to improve that a bit if he can. Let's see where the rest of our drivers are as we get around to this. Looks like Jackie and Williams about to finish off a lap here, I should assume, and let's see if he goes somewhere in the grid. 141.0 pushes Deadcon down to 7 at least for now. We'll see how that's going to change up as we get further into the session. Got Woody Rider here on a lap as well. Joseph and Donis both on laps as well. We can see a mixture in terms of strategy. Some of these guys doing the laps on the soft, and some of them will be working on the medium. So we'll see how that works out in the race itself. A short run down into turn 1 when you do get started at the race. Yeah, we got some glitch going on. There's a tire left on the track again. Seen that happen before. Alright, so Woody Rider goes up into second on the grid at 136.5. I think that'll hold up pretty well for him for now. We're gonna go down to Donners here in the Aston Martin. Let's see where he goes, as he should be finishing off this lap pretty soon. There he goes, a P4, 136.7, not too bad of a lap. I think we got B Wheeler joining on the session. He is currently on an out lap there. Let's see how that current lap is gonna go when he does actually get to the end of it. Okay, so we gotta wait for a few more drivers to get some laps, and we got 2 of them currently on out laps. I think we got Wayne and B-Wheeler both on out laps right now. Gonna get started that pretty soon, and a few more drivers still in the pits yet to get out here on track. 17 in total on the grid, so 1 already out, so at least 16 lap time should be in, hopefully by the end of the session here. We'll see what's gonna happen with that. In the meanwhile, let's have a look at a few things, but before we do bring anything else up on screen, the way this session does work, guys, as they did last week, Tuesday it's going to be a short qualifying session, then we get into a 25% race, and then a 50% race comes after that. Qualifying results take them at the starting grid to the 25%, and then using top 10 reverse into the 50%, but we'll get more into that as we get on through the session. In the meanwhile, we can have a look at the combined results coming off round 1 last week. I'm trying to have a look, where did I actually put that up, so hopefully I do have the correct one up. I'm not even sure if I do. I'm just gonna pull out more on screen so you guys can have a quick look at that as we get through with this. So driver standings as it is right now, we got Larson currently leading 52 points with that, so quite a big lead, because Woody Rider down in second there with 33 points, and they're looking to go on the same route in this occasion here currently on the qualifying results that we got going there. Got Wayne currently third on the driver standings, so with 23 points, so not too far off. Riley in fourth, 18 points. Got Donner tying him in fourth there as well for that same 18 points, and down to 6 with Blomstrom, 12 points that he has, and he ties off with Jackie the Williams for 12 points as well. Then we get Angry Dutch Guy down to 8, 10 points. We got Lewis behind that with 8, and I think Hindu Road there with 6 points in 10th as it stands right now. So at least that's our top 10 so far. We're going to work with that as we get on through this. We're trying to bring up the constructor standings. If we can have a quick look at that, like I said, it did make that one a bit easier to work with there. So constructor standings as it is, looks like Haas is currently leading there. 56 points, are quite a big lead. Alfa Romeo down in second, 33 points. We got Aston Martin 3 points behind in third, and McLaren in fourth, 23 points. AlphaTauri currently fifth with 22 points. No tying up on this one here. 6 for Alpine with 18 points. I think Williams got 6 as well. Oh, there we go. So both of them, Alpine and Williams, with 18 points each. Red Bull only 8 points down to 8. Ferrari down in 9th with 6, and Mercedes down in 10th with just 1 point. So far, of course, only one session so far in the entire. I'm trying to. Okay, so I think someone this is trying to figure out what's happening on my screen as well. It's a driver driving a Ferrari. Somebody's driving a Ferrari and not showing a name on my screen, so I'm not sure who it is at this point here. I think Ellis is trying to figure out who it is as well. Alright, so whoever is currently in the session, you guys are going to have to figure that out. Who's currently driving a Ferrari but not showing on my screen? I'm not sure who it is. Alright, let's get everything off screen and get back to the qualifying session. We'll see what's gonna happen. We do get around to the start of the race, but still waiting for some more laps to get on in here. Oh, thanks to Bob and Rwanda for liking these streams so far. Not too bad. I'm gonna go on down here. Where is Joseph on track? So he is in the next Ferrari. So we got 2 Ferrari drivers. Joseph's in one Ferrari and somebody else is in the next one. And I'm not sure who it is because it wasn't showing in the lobby as well. So some sort of issue going on with that. We'll try to figure that out as we get. Hopefully by the end of the qualifying session, at least we can have an idea who is driving that Ferrari, because I have absolutely no idea who it is at this point. I think R6 is on our lap here as well. Possibly gonna switch that over to him. Where is he? Getting through into sector 2 there now, I think it is. Yep. Anyway, let's see if the laps are going to be going at least just over half of the grid. So far with lap times in, looking at getting the rest of these guys with lap times in as well. See where we're going to stand at the end of this. Out in front, Larson still 135.0. Woody Radado goes up to second at 135.8, just about 8 tenths off. Still a bit of a gap there. And Joseph down to third at 136.4, which he just actually got on that final lap that he just performed there. I think still a lot of time left to get some more times in. Riley down to fourth now though, 136.6. Donners in fifth, 136.7, and Ellis down to 6, a 138.0. Angry Dutch guy in 7, 138.1, where Walls is still behind him at 138.2, just a tenth off. Jackie down to 9th, 141.0. We got some more 140s here with that Connie 142, and Wayne still with a 145. He's running pretty high up on the constructor standings, so let's see if he's able to get a better qualifying position by the end of this session. Still on with Era 6 in the Alpine. Let's see where he goes by the end of this current lap. Down in sector 3, should be finishing off in about 2 to 3 turns or so. So he gets across the line for P10, 138.4. Not too bad of a time. I think he'll hold up pretty well, at least for now. Not too bad of a starting position. B Wheeler is still trying to get a lap time in. Having some trouble putting together a full lap here right now. Possibly invalidated or possibly took some damage on the previous attempt. We'll see what's going to happen as we get around to this. Okay, so we're back on with this. Let's see who else is currently running on track at the moment. Still a few more. Oh, we got a few drivers who are currently down at the bottom of the grid where the lap time's trying to get a better time in. Got battle minis as well, trying to get another lap in there. We'll see if that's going to work out. A few more drivers up on top will potentially try to get a faster time in as we come closer after the end of the session. Our unknown Ferrari driver up into P5, and I'm not able to switch. We're starting to run into some trouble here now. I'm not able to go further up. Let me see if I can go this way. Yep, I can go this way, but I can't go back up when I'm on Dunners here. It's not allowing. I got to go all the way back around. So this is going to be a bit of an issue to get around now. We're down to 3.5 minutes left in the session. Thanks to T Kitty for subscribing to the YouTube channel as we're trying to figure this crap out. Oh, there we go. So we're on the Ferrari right now. We're not able to see anything. I'm able to get through it now. So I think maybe that driver's having a bit of an issue. That's why I'm not getting through to it. I'm not sure what's going on. Either way, our known Ferrari driver up into P5, 136.6 so far. Switches back around to the bottom here to the Alfa Romeo battle mini at the moment. See what's going on with that. Alright guys, as annoying as this is right now, we're still not able to figure this issue out, so that's going to be left at least for now. I'm trying to get something on, but let's leave that off for now. Alright, down at the bottom of the grid, where is Wheeler at the moment? Still trying to get a lap in. Looks like he did a purple sector 1. Going to keep on with the Aston Martin to see if this is going to finish off to possibly be somewhere in the top 5 as he finishes off this current lap. Larson still holding on to fastest lap in the session, and the only 134.4, the only 134 that we have here in qualifying at the moment. Woody rather down in second, 135.8. And Bradley Mini goes up into third now, 136.1. Joseph down to fourth, 136.4. Raleigh down to fifth, 136.616. And the unknown Ferrari driver is down to sixth right now, 136.680. About 700 of a second time difference between them. So that's going to change up as we get on through. It'll be quite interesting if that Ferrari wins the race, and we have absolutely no idea who it is at this point. I was wondering if that was Lewis for a second, but I know he's on the car, so that's not him. Alright, so Wheeler goes up into 9th on the grid, 137.7. Not a bad lap time for him either. It's going down. Where is Lewis on track? Invalidated on this current lap that he's running there in the Red Bull. Still trying to get a good lap in. So as it is now, Wayne now up into 2nd on the grid for the start of this race, 134.8 is his lap time. On the mediums as well, Larson did it on the soft, but still a 134.44 tenths faster there. Would you rather down to third, now 135.8. Gonna be an interesting start with them. And qualifying here officially over at this point, just whoever's currently finishing off a lap will be able to finish off the set lap, and then we get straight into the 25% race, and we'll see how well that's going to go. Of course, it's going to be combined with the points over from the 50% as well, and we'll be able to have a look at all of that over on the next session there. So we have a few drivers currently retiring off the session at the moment. We'll see how this goes as we get on through to the end. We don't know if we're going to have any potential issues in the lobby itself getting over to the race session. Now it's been quite decent, I would say, going through the qualifying session. The only issue I've been having is not figuring out who is the Ferrari driver up there in P5. So that's going to be, I'm not even sure what we're going to do with that at this point. That's just going to be left there at least for now, as we try to get through the session. So Lewis and CDR Hound, there's still no lap time from the two of them. I think both Red Bull drivers are there. It looks like to be. And I think Hound Popsy joined the session maybe a bit later on, because we're down to up to 18 drivers in the session. We were only 17 at the start, so not a bad number to start off the races with either. So right away, these two drivers currently not with lap times in, and of course ran out to the session pretty early off, didn't get a time in there. So let's see if Lewis does get one in as he's finishing off his final lap here right now. Should we get it wrong, the start finish straight in just a bit here as he gets around and kind of loses the car a bit. Does get across the line, but kind of spun about 3 times before he actually did, and gets a 138.1. Interestingly enough, gets up into 13th, spins the car over 3 times before getting it across the line, and still actually gets a lap time in. Still, I think Wayne has a pretty good starting position there, not too bad with that. So fastest lap here in qualifying here for the Singapore Grand Prix, getting started with this. Of course, Larson there on the mediums got to be a 134.497. Wayne in second, missing out on that by just about a few hundredths of a second there, almost to a tenth. So not too far off. So Woody Rider will be starting third. We got Batman starting fourth. Unknown Ferrari down in fifth. Still can't figure that out. Joseph down there in sixth. Riley in seventh. Donner's eighth. Angry Dutch Guy in ninth. B Wheeler in 10th. Walsey 11th. Ellis Smith in 12th. Lewis 13. Aero 16 14. Jackie 15. Deadcon 16. Hound in 17. Ryan there in 18. Let's get straight over to the 25% race session. See how well that goes. Of course, might be looking at the one-stop strategy for that session as it is, depending on if you have a safety car or VSC on the opening lap. Not sure how it's going to go. Quite a sharp run into turn 1. And remember, it is a street circuit, so quite tight around here, and going to be a bit difficult on some portions of the track to get an overtake done without taking damage to the car itself. So we'll see how the drivers get on with it as we're waiting for that to load up here right now. Okay, so on the formation lap here, as we get through on this, we got 18 drivers on the grid. Had quite an interesting qualifying session. We got 15 laps to go in this 25% race. Let's get a few stats on screen as these guys get around. We're gonna have a quick look at our starting grid as it is once again. So we got Lassie Dawson starting P1. He's currently leading the driver standings, of course, and of course his team leading the constructors. We got Wayne currently in second on the grid to get started. Woody Rather is down to third with his battle mate down in fourth. Unknown Ferrari in fifth. Joseph in sixth. A Rally in seven. We got Donners in eighth. Angry Dutch Guy in 9. B Wheeler in 10th. Walsey 11. Ellis Smith in 12. Lewis will start 13 in a Red Bull. Got an interesting lap time in, even after spinning about 2 to 3 times before getting across the line on that lap. Era 6 in 14. We got Jackie there 15. We got Hound in 16. Ryan in 17. Didn't get to make a lap time in. And Deadcon, I'm not sure why he's all the way down in 18. Possibly had something happen in quality that we did not pay attention to at that point there, but we'll see what's going to happen. Quite a few cars on the mediums here to get started on this race. Possibly looking to run a longer stint on the first half of the race and possibly go on to the softs to go down to the end. We'll see how that strategy works out, because we might be potentially looking at a safety car somewhere in the first half of this race. Looks like it's going to be a dry session all the way through, so I think drivers might be looking forward to that, especially here at Singapore. Don't want to be having a wet race on a tight track such as this one. Going to lead to a lot of damage front wing, so we'll see how that works out. We're going to switch this back over to position changes, but yeah, keep that around so you guys can have a look at that as we will be getting started with the race and see what's going to happen in that case. But so far looking like it's going to be a good start to the session. And so far no major issues on the lobby itself or with drivers getting disconnected, but of course we're going to see what's going to happen with everyone on the race session at the same time. Might be a different situation, but we'll see how it goes. If all goes well, we will be able to continue. If we start having major issues, we might have to put a pause in the session and call a red flag on it. But so far so good. I think we should be able to get through the race session as it is. An unknown driver is Mad Max. Not sure why he's not showing up. Okay, thank you very much, Tikili, for that, because I had no idea who that was. So that's fine. Let us get on board with the McLaren here of Wayne as they get started on this. Bit of an equal start between him and Larson as they get into turn one. Looks like a bit of side-by-side action going through that. And they have a bit of contact getting through. Looks like the Haas goes a little bit wide. Still trying to keep it through the lead as they get on through that. So far, so good, but we still got the McLaren of Wayne challenging him for the lead. He has to possibly just hold off into second as it is. The Woody Rider still running there in third, and so is Batman down in fourth. Joseph up a position. He's up to fifth. Dunners has gone up 2 positions so far. Aaron Riley is down into seventh. I think he's right there where he started. Angry Dutch got up 1 position, so quite a few position changes as he got around to this at the back of the grid. Not sure if he had any major contact on that, but so far so good as they get through into sector 2. Out in front, top 2 cars are kind of pulling away from the rest of the grid just a bit, but still keeping a close gap between each other, just about 2 to 3 tenths as it was, starting to go a bit more as it is right now. They're going down to 5th here with Joseph and see where he is going at the moment. It looks like Mad Max in the Ferrari all the way down to 18th. Had a pretty bad start on that one there. Let's bring tires back online here. We'll have a look at that as we get on through with the session further on as it is. So far so good. Doesn't look like we're having any VSC or safety car issues as everyone seems to be getting through pretty well. Out in front, Battle Mini here though getting pretty close to Woody Rider, trying to keep that gap within about 5 tenths if he can. Out in front, Wayne trying to keep his gap under a second at this point. Starting to struggle a bit, but he's still trying to push forward for it. And hoping to keep the gap as this is there right now to have the DRS advantage in the next 2 laps as that will be coming online. We're going to switch off for that for a second. Let's have a look at the rest of the grid. Larson of course gets the fastest lap so far, getting through into lap 2. And of course our leaderboard is going to start to go a bit crazy, so we're just going to ignore that for the time being and see what we have going on as we get on through this. So yeah, we're just going to wait for that to sort itself back out. We're just going to go down at the back. You have a look what's happening between Jack Kim. You can have Ellis, I think, behind of him. Everything seems to be running smoothly so far except for the leaderboard, which of course we know that issue still happens. Looks like we have a few pit stops down at the back of the grid. So let's see what's happening there. We got Aero 6, Lewis and Detcon in the pits getting back out right now. So I'll change the tires for them and we'll see what that leads to as they get back around to this. Out in front here, of course, we got Larson still leading this race. Got the McLaren of Wayne chasing after him. Gap is now 1.4 seconds as it seems so far on our screen here, as it has increased a bit. I think he's trying to keep up with him as much as he can, but having some trouble on that end. But back down to Joseph here, who's currently running in 5th. And he's chasing after the Alfa Romeo. In front of him has the, I think, Aston Martin of Dunners just behind. Aaron Riley just behind of that. Not too far off with the gap as it is. Let's see how that's working out for him so far. Looks like Hong might have a 2:10 gap towards Ryan, but they kind of stuck for a second. So I'm not sure that's still the case there. Not sure why they're showing us pit strategy now. Okay, so we got Ryan and Wheeler here in a bit of a situation, fighting it. I think this is going to be for P10 as Ryan is trying to keep up with him as much as he can. So both McLarens in a fight for position right now. Of course, Wayne out front, losing some time right now to the race leader. I think we're entering lap 3 right now. We're going to have DRS come online. Going to be a bit of an advantage to most of the drivers who are within a second of the car in front of them. So they will have to try and keep that gap. This is why they do try to keep it from the start of the session coming on through. On the start finish rate, getting into the next lap. So there, I think these guys are finally into lap 3 itself. Ryan's still trying to keep up with the Aston Martin in front of him, having some severe problems doing this though. We'll see how well that goes on through for him. Got a few more pit stops happening as we get on through. Possibly a few cars taking damage in the session so far. Of course, it is expected. It is for the Singapore Grand Prix. Quite a very narrow circuit here, much like Azerbaijan or Monaco. Very difficult for some drivers to get through some of these turns. You gotta just be very careful in the braking zone and gotta be very quick on that as well. Otherwise, it does result in some damage if you do miss one of the braking zones as you get on through this. I think so far so good. We've only lost one driver so far, and that's Jackie there. Hey, thinking of Williams, who's currently out of the session. Not sure if he was out on track or if he retired in the pits. But unfortunately, out 17 drivers currently remain in, and I think we should be able to go to the end of the race with that. It's a 15-lap race. We'll see how that works out. So far, Larson still leading out front. Gap is now 1.8 seconds as it is. Let's have a look at these two as they're getting on through here right now. So Wayne here in second place. Gap is now 1.9 seconds. It's going up just a bit more. He's going to have to possibly find some sort of pace to keep up with the house in front of him. Having some problems with it though, even though they're running on the same strategy. Both of them running on the medium tires at the moment. We'll see if the pit stop strategy can possibly get Wayne to get out in front. Not sure how this is going to work out. The leaderboard possibly seems to be getting a bit mixed up here again. We're just going to let that be. And let's have a look at Woody Rather down at the back here. So he's currently still chasing after the McLaren of Wayne in front of him, not closing in that gap right about now as far as we can see. So we'll see if that's going to be changing anytime soon, as we're trying to get down back to Wheeler and Ryan here on board with the McLaren of Ryan right now. See how this gap works out for him. But looks like a 9-10 gap. He's trying to keep it within a second to do have that DRS advantage when he gets around possibly to the next lap. We'll see if that's going to work out for him or not. Down to 7/10. He's closing in on the Aston Martin. Still needs to get the overtake done. Very difficult around this track. Needs to find just the right portion of the track to actually get it done without actually taking damage or potentially losing an extra position due to making a mistake. Of course, the car behind of him is about 6.9 seconds behind. Has some time to work with. Of course, doesn't want to be losing time, of course, to the car in front. The gap down to 5:10. So he is closing in very quickly here. Hopefully into the next lap or the next two laps, he might be able to potentially get this overtake done. I think we started the race off pretty well though, despite what's happened so far. Just one driver out, of course. Still one driver not showing up on my screen. Of course, we were informed it is Mad Max in the Ferrari driving there. He's currently 13th on the grid. Had a pretty good qualifying position though, started way up on the field, ended on the back of the grid though on the race start. So not sure exactly what happened on that opening lap to him, because we were a bit more focused out in front with Wayne and Larson. Larson, who I think, did he take a stop or is he just, or I think he's going in for a stop here now. I'm not sure if he had a bit of an issue, because he's all the way down into 9th and now going in for a pit stop. So something obviously happened out front, or either that or the leaderboard is just mixed up. I'm not even sure what's happening at this point, but we'll just go with it. Let's get back out here to Joseph at the moment, chasing after that Mini there, who's currently in front of him, because it's now showing, I don't know, Ferrari of Mad Max up into P1, which we're quite sure there's not the actual situation out there. I think we're just waiting. Oh, we got a bit of a switch happening out front with Wayne and Woody Rather here, so I think that puts Woody Rather up into the lead. Should be what the situation is. Yep, there it is. So he is now up into the lead of the race. Wayne is still running in second now, who was supposed to be leading after Larson took a stop. I think he had a bit of an issue there as well. Not sure exactly what happened, but we're going to work with that for the moment. Battle Mini there in third. Joseph running in fourth. He's still chasing after the Alfa Romeo in front of him. We're going to have a good run with this, but he needs to possibly use whatever advantage he can to try to get the overtake done, or he might just hold this off until the pit stop. We'll see what the situation is going to be, but both of them running on the soft tires right now, and of course Donner's behind of him, about 5 seconds behind, so has some time to the car behind of him to work with, and I think he's going to possibly try to ride that out, and let's see if he does hold off and go. He's going to follow Battle Mini into the pit lane right now, and they got a McLaren of Wayne in front of them there as well. Woody Rather does stay out. He's going to continue on with his medium, 5 laps down on them so far. These guys going on fresh tires right now, so let's see what happens when they do get back out on track. Bit of a dangerous release there, that Aston Martin right in front of Joseph as he gets back out. So this is going to get quite close between these two as they're getting out of the pit lane right now. They do have to be careful on that exit. Quite a tricky exit here at Singapore to get back out on track, especially when you're on manual controls and driving out. Woody Rather is currently leading the race out front. Not sure why he keeps showing that Ferrari out in front in P1, because that's not the situation at this point. So we got a gap of about 6 to 7 tenths, I think, between Battle Mini and Joseph there. That's what P4. Just keep an eye and see how that gap is continuing on through at the moment. Yeah, we got a few penalties on track here as well. At least 3 of them so far. We still got 17 drivers in this round. Lap 6 of 15. Starting to approach the halfway point of this race. I think our leaderboard is back sorted now. I highly doubt they're going to fix that leaderboard this year. It's going to go on for the entire year. F1 2022 is going to be out next year, June or July, whenever it comes out, and we're still going to have this leaderboard this year, possibly even into the next year. I'm not sure why that's so hard for them to fix. I'm going to go down the order just a bit, follow on with Aaron Riley here in 17th. There's a 5-10 gap, a pretty close gap with a few cars here now, as these guys took some stops as well. So we got Angry Dutch Girl running in 6th, Aaron Riley 3 tenths behind in 7th, Wayne down in 8th, 5 tenths behind, Donner's another 6 tenths behind, and Larson running behind of them here as well. So quite a train of cars getting through. We got the Alpine of Riley looking to get an overtake done. He is right behind that AlphaTauri of Angry Dutch Girl, and let's see how that works out. We do have Wayne coming just behind of that, along with Dunners and Larson there in the Haas as well, on fresh soft tires, so he might have a bit more advantage over these guys in front of him. We're currently all running on mediums there, and we got here really having some trouble. Might have had a bit of contact and possibly lost the car, or just lost the rear, getting off one of those tires, not sure. There was an issue with another driver. He might be reporting that. We'll see what happens at the end of the race though. But for the moment, he's now down into 11th and running. He's ahead of Hound, got back that position there. We're going on with Larson here, and he's chasing after the McLaren of Wayne out in front of him. Let's see how that works. So we got Angry Dutch Guy just in front of us. So let's just get rid of the leaderboard at the moment at least, and see how that works for us, because it's not doing us any good at this point. So Angry Dutch Guy in the AlphaTauri, they're running, Wayne running in the McLaren, and we got Larson running in the Haas just behind of them. That's 3 as they go so far. Let's see how they get on through, who's going to get an overtake done. I have no idea what positions they're at right now, but somewhere in the midfield final positions. Looks like Wayne is going to try to get around the AlphaTauri. Doesn't actually get it done. We got possibly a safety car happening here. Let's see what the situation is. And it is a full safety car. Going to lead to some more pit stops happening on this current lap as these guys get around here. Would you rather currently leading out front still? He might get into the pits if he hasn't passed that entry lane. He's actually already around, so he's not going to get to take us up until the next lap. We got Wolsey currently running up into 2nd right now. He's 23 seconds behind Woody Rider, so a bit of a gap to work with, and he might actually be able to take a pit stop and get back out in front behind the safety car. We'll see how it works out for him. We got Mini down there in 3rd. We'll see how the order changes up, as most of these cars will be pitting getting through here. Alright, so we got Keeley there keeping us updated what's going on with the unknown Ferrari, which of course is Mad Max there. He's watching on his stream's end to see what's happening, so maybe a bit of a glitch on his end, or maybe just a bit of a connection issue. It's why it's possibly showing that way, because every other driver seems to be fine on this end. We're not having any lagging issue in terms of drivers on stream as well to show any possible glitch side of anything with that. So I think possibly just a bit of a connection issue to the PSN server. I'm not sure what's happening on that end, but I don't think it's a driver's end. I think it's just the server having an issue there. Alright, I think it's sorted itself back once again. So Would You Rather still leading the race and getting through to final sector here on lap 8. At the moment, the score is just past our halfway point of the race. We're on a safety car, first safety car of the session. Not even a VSC so far. Let's see if Would You Rather goes into the pits, and he is heading into the pit lane right now. Going to get possibly a set of soft tires onto the car and get out back. Going to give him a bit of an advantage to get down to the end of the race here. Would expect it would. So let's see what the situation will be. Wolsey there might want to think about doing a stop right about now as well. He might lose a position maybe or two, but I think it might be worth it at this point doing a pit stop right about now. We got Would You Rather heading out of the pit lane right now. We can see Wolsey in the Mercedes coming behind. Looks like he has not taken a stop. He's going to continue on out, but does he get ahead of Would You Rather? Here is the question. Looks like he just might and barely actually gets ahead. So he is currently into the lead. Of course, the problem here is that he has not taken a pit stop in this race so far. Let's see how that actually works for him. Just ignore the position of the unknown Ferrari Mad Max there, guys. It's not currently P1. It's just showing that way on screen. Bit of an issue on that end. Alright, so I think we're finished with the pit stop so far on the safety car. I think Angry Dutch Guy, the only guy currently into the pits. Is he back out on track? And looks like he is there at the moment. So as it stands right now, I think this should be the order. There we go. So we got that sorted back once again. Wolsey currently leading the Singapore Grand Prix here for late night racing. We got Would You Rather up into second now. Bad Mini into third. Joseph running fourth. CDR Hound running fifth. Ryan in seventh. Ryan in sixth. Wayne in seventh. Both McLaren's up pretty good high up into the points here. Larson running in 8th, Angry Dutch Guy in 9th, we got Air Rally in 10th, we got Donald's 11th. If they got this correct, we got 12th for Mad Max there, B Wheeler in 13, Lewis there in 14, Deadcon 15, Era in 16. Alice Smith out of the race unfortunately, and Jackie out pretty early off in the race session itself. I think he possibly had contact with another car that caused him to get off, I'm not sure, but that part will most likely be investigated at the end of the race session. We're waiting for the safety car to be over here right now. Let's get back out in front. Let's have a look at the number of pit stops that have been done so far. It looks like the only drivers who have not done a stop here is currently Wolsey and CDR Hound. Let's see what's going to happen in that case, getting on through with them. I didn't actually have a look at the rules in the league to see if they are required to do a stop on this 25% race or not, or they can push all the way to the end. Of course, you got to look at the tires and how well the tires are getting through with this. Leader, we're getting mixed up once again. I think we're just waiting right now for the safety car to get back in. So potentially on this current lap here, so we should get back racing into lap 11. And we'll see how that goes. Penalties as it is there right now, we currently have a 3-second penalty for both McLaren drivers at the moment. Error 6 in the Alpine on the back. Or is that a Williams? Sorry, let's have a quick look. Is that the Williams or is that, no, that's the Alpine. 6 seconds for him. Lewis here, 3 seconds here in the Red Bull. Deadcon running 16th on the grid so far. Let's see if he's able to get somewhere up into the points by the end of this here. So not too bad so far as we had it going on through. Still got 16 drivers in it to finish this session. Potentially didn't expect we'll have a stream today. I thought we possibly might have had to cancel a session due to the issues being reported on the PlayStation Network itself. Anyway, it seems to have been sorted so far, so hopefully that continues on through. Not sure if it has anything to do with the update that they released, but we'll see what happens as we get on through this. So into lap 10 right about now, getting through sector 2. It's waiting for these guys to get through sector 3. Then we're gonna see what the safety car restart goes like. Wolsey, of course, out in front has Would You Rather with fresh soft tires behind of him. Gonna have quite a difficult time keeping up. Just to keep the car out in front, so I'm not sure how well that works out for him. Safety cars going in this lap, of course, we already figured that out. Yeah, so Wolsey's gonna have some serious problems out in front. 9 laps down on those mediums, they're gonna be severely worn. I think definitely Would You Rather stands a pretty good chance of getting ahead of him. Not sure what happened with Larson earlier off in this race because he was leading, seemed to have a bit of an issue, and then he took a pit stop. But I'm not sure what the issue was before that pit stop. So potentially something did happen, and then he took that stop and went back down quite a few positions. So we'll see what's going to happen at the end of this. What position he does get. Of course, we do have the 50% race going to get started just after this here is over. So we're waiting for the safety car to go back in here, which he's already getting away. So let's see how it goes out in front with the Mercedes here, and then Would You Rather in the Alfa Romeo just behind him. Of course, his teammate Bad Mini there just behind of him in third as well. So this is going to be quite interesting. Got a Ferrari Joseph there in fourth, Red Bull in fifth, both McLaren 6th and 7th as they're about to get back started here right now. Let's see how this goes. Is it going to be a switch between those two Alfa Romeos? I'm not sure, but Wolsey continues with the lead out in front. He's going to try to hold on to this as much as he can. I'm trying to have a look on here with Would You Rather to see how close of a gap he's going to get. as they get on through with that restart. Leaderboard still a bit mixed up. It's just the Ferrari of Mad Max getting out in front of the board, and we got a very close gap. We already got Woody Rider looking on the outside. He's going to switch it back to the inside. Let's see if he gets this overtake done. Possibly going to look to get it around one of his straights. We'll see if that works out for him. His teammate trying to follow along behind. They're now going side by side through this. Almost having a bit of contact, but they actually easily get off from that. And the Alfa Romeo pulls back just a little bit. We got the Ferrari of Joseph trying to get ahead there, get up into P3 onto a podium position if he can at this point. We got the yellow flag in the situation here as well, so we'll see if that's going to affect anything. I think that's actually over with just some bit of minor issues. Someone down in the back of the grid having some sort of issue, and that potentially was the Ferrari of Mad Max getting through. Would you rather know, just a tenth behind, trying to get alongside that Mercedes. He definitely looks like he was to be able to get this overtake done, just looking for a bit of straight portion of the track, and he's going to go side by side with him. Almost a bit of contact between them. They still get on through side by side with this, and I think the Mercedes finally lets it go, so that walls it down into second now. But go down behind of that. Let's have a look. And we got a bit of an issue. We got the Ferrari of Joseph into the wall down at the back there. That might be a potential safety car. There it is. So it is a safety car for that situation there. He's blocking the track at the moment. I'm not sure if there was contact between him and Brad. Mini might have just been. And he just ended up straight into the barriers on the side. As you said, a street circuit here in Singapore, very tight around the track, and any sort of minor mistake will throw that car into a wall, and that's going to be a race over. So second safety car here in the session. Joseph out, he's down to 16. That's going to be that count up to 15. So 15 drivers currently remain. Woody Rider still leading the race out in front. We got Batman now up into second. Ryan now up into fourth. His teammate Wayne is now into the pits already, all the way down to 13. So we got quite a few pit stops happening on this safety car here as well. See how this is going to play out going down to the end. Wolsey took a stop there on the safety car, I guess, as well. So he's now down into 12. Getting onto fresh soft tires to go to the end of the race. I don't think he expected a safety car here at this point. Might have just hoped for one though. But let's see how that helps him. So we're gonna go possibly just gonna be a bit of a shorter safety car because we're close off to the end of the session. It's only a 15 lap race and we're on lap 12 at this point here. So hopefully we can get back racing at the end of this lap. Or it might just be at the end of lap 13. We'll see what the situation is going to be, because we're still getting through lap 12 here right now. First lap as the safety car has been out. Has not been too bad of a race so far. Has been quite interesting in terms of the battles going on through the track. Woody Rider still leading this, looking to get some good points in for the session at least, because he is currently second on the driver's standings, looking to possibly get ahead of Larson there. We'll see how that works out for him. So far looking pretty good because Larson's all the way down to 7th. Of course it's going to be a reverse top 10 start for the 50% race, and I think there's going to be some more points added from that race there, so we'll see who gets the advantage at the end of the session, going over to round 3, and who will continue off with the lead of the driver standings as well. I will see if actually if Haas will be able to extend their lead even more after this 2 races that we're having here. We'll see what the situation is going to be. It looks like we're going to go one more lap under the safety car before he does go back in. Yep, still out there and going, so we should be able to get the safety car back in at the end of this lap, get back to racing into lap 14 and 15. Just 2 laps of racing remain, so really not a lot of time for drivers to try and get some overtakes done. It's looking pretty good in this race session here though for the Alfa Romeo team, because we got both drivers about to finish with a 1-2 finish here in this race, if they're able to keep the cars as it is. Of course we do have Ryan there in 3rd. He started all the way down somewhere at the back of the grid, of course. I think around 17th it was. He's up into 3rd right now at the grid, looking at getting driver of the day, I assume, here, and possibly getting a podium position here as well. He does have a penalty though. This is what is going to limit him just a bit. That penalty that he has, which I think is a 3-second penalty. Let's have a quick look at that. Actually it's an 8-second penalty at this point, so going to affect him quite a bit in terms of finishing positions. Looks like he's going to be losing a potential podium position here. Mad Max is in third place, so I'm really not sure where the grid order is. We do have a bit more of a confusing leaderboard situation here on this race session itself, for what is showing on my end and what it's showing on the driver's end, so we'll have to let that sort itself out. I'm just going to work with what I'm seeing here for the moment, and we'll have the full results of the session in round 3 next week, so we'll have a look at what exactly happened over here. But for the moment, we're going to have to work with whatever it is I'm seeing here, but at the moment it's showing Mad Max down in 14th. So safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap here, and we're about to get back racing. We'll see what's going to happen by the end of this, the next 2 laps that we have remaining in the session. Then we get straight over to the 50% race. Okay, so back on with the restart here right now. Would you rather is going to lead into this, and a bit of a mix-up on that leaderboard. Once again, we'll have to just let that be at this point. 15 drivers to finish up this race. We'll see what the order is going to be on my screen, at least as we get on through with it. At the moment, looks like Would You Rather gets a pretty good go after that restart. Though Ryan here in third, having a bit of an issue with Aaron Riley behind of him, and of course Larson now up into 5th as he just got past Angry Dutch guy down in the back there. Let's see if that's working out for him. So we're on with Riley at the moment, a pretty close gap to him and the McLaren out in front. McLaren were looking pretty good early on in this session, now not so much, but Wayne is still trying to work his way back up the field. Of course, less than 2 laps to get this done before this race session comes off to an end. Would you rather they're running still out in front, 1.3 seconds ahead of his teammate. And Brad Mini, of course, trying to keep ahead of the McLaren behind of him, who's now 2 seconds behind. I think he's just under a bit more pressure from the Alpine of Aaron Riley behind of him in P4, who's trying to get onto a podium position. And there goes Lance Larson trying to get around the Alpine and been a bit blocked off. He's going to pull it from the inside and try to go side by side with Aaron and possibly get that overtake done if he can. And I think he's still on the outside, so might not be able to get it right away. And he's still going to push on through for it. This is going to be going all the way into the final lap if he doesn't get it done on this current lap here. I don't think I'll be able to have the DRS advantage for the remainder of the race, of course, as we get on through this, because we just got back started after our safety car, so I don't think that's going to be coming online. And we got just about a lap more to finish off here as we're into the final sector of lap 14 already. Got a race leader entering into the final lap as Riley is just about 2 tenths behind Ryan, chasing after him. Larson another 2 tenths behind him. So it's a 3-way fight right about now going on for potential P3 on the podium. Of course, Ryan having 8 seconds of penalty is not going to be helping his luck on this, so he might just be out of it for the fight of that. It's going to be between Aaron Riley and Lassie Larson for that position, and the two of them still going at it. Just a tenth between them right now. The McLaren still out in front, still trying to get across the line in that position if he can, as we're into the final lap getting on through this. Would You Rather leading out front by about 2.4 seconds. Mad Max seems to be out of the session, if that's correct, I'm not sure. Brad Mini is still running second, Ryan running in third. We got Riley running in fourth, still about 3 tenths behind the McLaren, and still has to be very worried about Larson, who's coming behind of him. Knows that the McLaren in front of him does have penalties, so he's going to get positions up automatically. Has to keep the house of Larson get behind as much as he can at this point here on the final lap getting through. Let's see how this is going to work out as he now gets up into third place. We got Wayne is now running in 5th. Ryan all the way down to 7th. Had a bit of an issue there, as these three are going to continue on with the fight now. A penalty there for Lance Larson and Wayne as well, so looks like Aaron Riley might be looking at a comfortable third place podium position here at the end of this race as they come through into the final sector now. We got both Alfa Romeos out front. Gonna be a 1-2 finish for them as they get across the line in just a bit. And still a fight here going on for third place, but at least to just get across the line. But I think Aaron Riley still will be able to get it. Larson there of Owen. You got the McLaren of Wayne out of the session. So Woody Rado takes the win for the Singapore Grand Prix. His teammate Batman, he takes second place on the grid. Ian Riley takes third place. Final podium position for him. Lassie Larson has to take fourth. Unfortunate for Wayne on the final sector having DNF there. Angry Dutch Guy goes into fifth for this. Donners there finishes sixth. We got B Wheeler in seventh. Walsey finishes in eighth. CDR hung ninth. I'm not sure if he's still connected or not. I think he had a bit of a connection issue, so not sure how that worked out. We do have Lewis currently 10th, Ryan currently 11th, Deadcon currently 12th, and we should have Era 6 going up into 13th and possibly Wayne down into, yeah, there we go, so Wayne down to 14. And a few drivers not able to finish the race, unfortunately. 13 finish. Not sure if everyone was connected to the car getting across the line. That's going to be a bit determined by the stewards later on as they finalize the results after both races are completed. Driver of the day, of course, goes to Senior Hound. Not sure if that's going to stick as well if he was not connected to the car for most of the session there. So that's going to be dependent as well. Either way, we will work with the results that we did just have there. We're going to head straight into the 50% race now and see how that works. So race winner here for the 25% is Woody Rado in the Alfa Romeo. His teammate finishes second on the grid, and Aaron Riley in the Alpine takes that final podium position there. Looks like Larson there got the fastest lap in, of course, with a 3-second penalty, but still not too bad of a finish for him. Did start P1 and what possibly was looking at getting a podium position at some point, but unfortunately not able to get it. But either way, didn't work out too bad from Angry Dutch Guy. Finished 5th, Donners in 6th, Bueller 7th, Walsey 8th, CDR Hung currently 9th, Lewis in 10th, Ryan 11th, Deadcon 12th, Era 6 in 13, and that's for drivers who got across the line. I'm not sure if anyone was connected. We'll see what the situation is with that, as we're now waiting for the guys to load on over to the session for the 50% race. So I'll be back here in just about 2 minutes or so, guys. Okay, so into the session here now for the 50% race, getting started on the formation lap. Let's get a few starts up on screen quickly. So have a few things as these guys are about to get started on this. So looks like we got back 18 drivers in. Not sure if it's all the same 18. We'll see how that goes. We got only one driver is going to be starting on the softs. Everyone else starting on the mediums. Going to be a 31 lap race for the 50% race around the Singapore circuit here. So going to be quite interesting with that. Let's see what the starting grid does look like as they get around here at the moment. Looks like we got Lewis starting in P1, Walsey will start second, B Wheeler starting third, Donners will start fourth, Angry Dutch Guy starting fifth, Lassie Larson will start sixth, Ian Riley down there in seventh, we got Battle Mini there in eighth, Woody Ratter starts ninth, Ryan starts 10th, we got Deadcon starting 11th, got Arrow 6 starting 12, Wayne will start 13. Got Mad Max there in 14, Joseph in 15, Elizabeth starting 16th, and Jackie there in 17th. Drew Cam there down 18th, new driver in the session. Let's see how the start is going to go as they get around to reform back on the grid. Still getting through Sector 2 here at the moment. So we're just going to wait a bit for these guys to get on through. First race of the session would not go too bad at all. Only 2 safety cars in, I think it was total. And yeah, they go on pretty well first half of the race. We think we didn't have any sort of issue. It's about two, 3 drivers out in the first half of it. More rest went out just down at the end, but still a decent number of drivers to finish off the session. Qualifying was a bit interesting as well. Did expect to have more issues in terms of the lobby itself. I think all we had happening was basically just a few issues with the leaderboard, mostly through the session or the race session itself. But this sorts itself back out, so we're just trying to keep an eye on that as we get on through. We're about to get back sorted onto the grid here with Lewis there getting in P1 for us. He's going to be the first one joining back onto the grid. Who's down at the back? We do have Drew Cam here in 18th. Let's see how that gets sorted through. And unfortunately Lewis is disconnected from the game once again, having some issues with connection. And what a time to be disconnected, because it's about to get started here and we already get the lights about to go on and get started with this race. Let's see what happens as his AI is going to be driving at the start. Looks like Walls is going to get a pretty good run into turn 1, but so far Lewis's car holds up pretty well, getting around into that, but he's now going to be losing position on that race start as the Haas tries to get around there as well, get up into second, and that's Larson getting up into second, finding it with a B Wheeler for that position. Let's see what's happening down in the back here. So Wheeler down into third, now running. Durners is up to fourth, Angry Dutch Guy up to fifth, Lewis's car is down all the way to seventh at the moment, losing position. I think he's going to go a bit crazy on this one. 5-second penalty going to B Wheeler there from the start on the opening lap there. He's now down into fourth. Donners is now up into third. Larson still running just a 10th behind the Mercedes of Walsey right now. He's trying to get up into the lead of this race. He started the first race, the 25% race in P1. Was not able to finish on the podium just because of bit of issue in the race though. But let's see how he goes on this one. He's looking to get into P1 right about now. Started just a few positions down from here and currently running second, still trying to get ahead of that Mercedes, having a bit of a difficult time though. Has the Aston Martin of Donners coming behind, B Wheeler just behind of that in the next Aston Martin. Both Aston Martins are looking pretty good at possibly getting a position up here. And can somebody invite Lewis back into the race session? I'm not sure if anybody's gonna be able to do it at this point here, because I don't think I have him added on to my list, so I can't invite him at this point. I would have just paused the session for a second to just get him back in. He's currently down to 12 on the grid. Started P1 and a horrible session for him here at the moment, not able to get back on. I'm not sure if there's anyone. Well, thank you very much, Serious Mushroom. Do appreciate that. Once again, guys, can somebody get Lewis back onto the session here, because he's losing positions like crazy and he just keeps going further down the grid order here. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. You see, the leaderboard is just getting a bit messed up right now, so we're just going to let that be. Let's get back up here out in front though with the top 3 at the moment. I think these 3 are still going at it. Both Aston Martins fighting for positions right now, I think. And let's have a look at what's happening. No, I think it's Donners out in front here. Where is his teammate? He is behind of him. So B Wheeler still trying to get up a position here. Now leaderboard is just still mixed up. We're just gonna let that be for now, because I have no idea what's going on with that. as you said in the previous race session, I think that's just going to continue all the way on to F1 2022. They're never going to fix that issue. So we're just going to have to just accept it and just get on with it as we get on through this. So what's going on out in front? Let's have a look right about now. Is Larson leading the race? It does seem to be the situation. Yep, we do have Larson out into the lead. Walls is now down into second. Donner's now running into third. His teammate running just behind him there in P4. That's the order as it goes. We got Angry Dutch guy in P5 at the moment. Very close gaps out in front with these few cars that we have. We got Mercedes spun wrong, and that was Walsey there, who started there pretty high up in front in the grid now, and he's down all the way down to P10. A bit of an unfortunate situation there for him. Donner's now up into second. Larson still continues to lead. Wheeler run into third now. Angry Dutch guy now fourth. Battle Mini into fifth. We got Riley in sixth. Woody Rather chasing after that Alpine right about now. He's running 3/10 behind. Let's see how that works out for him. The McLaren of Wayne, who had a bit of an issue on the previous race, on the final sector, on the final lap, losing out from points, paying positions down at the end of that race as well. He's now up into ninth and running here. I think 8th. The Ferrari of Mad Max still getting in the way out in front on top in P1. I'm not sure what's happening with that. We're just going to have to just ignore all of that for now and just a bit focused on the race as we get on through this. So we got both McLarens now running just behind each other once again. Not a good situation. Was not a good one at the previous race. So let's see how it works out on this one. We got Wayne, of course, though, chasing after Riley out in front. We now have Woody Rather splitting up the McLarens. He's now into 8th. Now Joseph gets up into 9th. Brian is now down into 10. Let's see how this continues on through. Get that up in just taking it a bit deep on the inside. He gets up that position pretty well, holds on to it for now. The McLaren still trying to get around the Alpine of Aaron Riley here, but having a bit of a difficult time. Woody Rather now coming up to him very, very quickly. Let's see if that's going to be an overtake happening or not. So very close the as they get through this current lap. I think we're on lap 3 at the moment here, if I'm not correct about that. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to focus on what's happening here. Looks like we got the Alpine going side by side with Woody Rather, with Battle Mini out in front. I'm trying to figure out where we are at the moment. So this might just get a bit interesting. Might end up in a pretty bad ending for someone here if they're not careful at this point. So they have to be very careful. There's quite a train of cars getting through the grid as we got it going already on lap 3. It's currently Angry Dutch guy leading them out in front in P4. I think Wheeler is just a bit ahead of that. Larson getting the fastest lap so far as we get on through with this. So it goes as Angry Dutch guy running in P4, Battle Mini running P5, Aaron Riley running P6 right now, 2/10 behind. We got very close gaps also with Wayne and Woody Rather just behind of that. Leaderboard keeps getting mixed up. We're just going to ignore that for the time being as they get on through. Let's see how this goes as they get into lap 4 right about now. It's a 31 lap race. We're looking at a potential 2-stop strategy here in this session, or possibly even just a 1-stop. We'll see how much they're actually willing to push on these tires and how long they're going to be running a stint here. Because they could switch onto the hard tires to get onto the end, depending if that works for them. We'll see what the strategy change will be on this occasional race that we have going on. So Angry Dutch guy out in front still has the Alfa Romeo of Battle Mini behind of him. 4/10, 2/10 behind that. We got Riley, another 3 to 4/10. Wayne in the McLaren down in 7. He's trying to push for some serious points here as he lost quite a lot of points on the previous race. So he's going to push as much as he can. Lewis finally getting on back the lobby here right about now. Where is his car? He's currently down into 12 and running. I want to actually see if he gets back online. Unfortunate for him. I think he's trying to get connected back to this car right about now. Hopefully he does get that connected back. Let's get back out in here with Wayne there in the McLaren, following after Riley out in front of him in the Alpine. Let's see how that works out. We're trying to keep an eye on these guys as they all get on through. Woody Rather just behind of this as well. He's trying to keep up as much as he can. Very, very close. Yes, we do have the DRS advantage working with them here as well. Do we need to put anything else on? Let's put on telemetry and have a look on how this actually goes. Switch this back to the Alpine out in front. Very close is what the gap is currently is at. I'm looking at Woody Rather right now, 2/10 right now as he chases after the McLaren. So he's looking at possibly getting side by side with Wayne right now, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get that done. Has to get that on a very, I guess, a very clear portion of the track, or one of the straight portions, to try to get the overtake on if he can. Got about 3 cars trying to go wide through some of these turns here, which is really not a good idea at this point. As we have it right now, Woody Ryder is now up against Riley. He's up into 8. No, he's up into 7. Riley's running in 8 right now. Larson's still leading this race out by 10 seconds out in front, so he's having a pretty good run there. Let's see how this works out, because Dunners and Weed are looking pretty good in Aston Martin for 2nd and 3rd. They're holding on to those positions as much as they can. We got the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo, I think, battle. Meaning they're going side by side for P5 right now, so these two are going to hold on to it. The McLaren still holds out in the P5 though, and try to hold that position as much as he can. Woody Ryder here, 210 behind his teammate here. And still pushing on through. Riley just behind of that. Joseph there running in 9th. Is he having a look at what's happening in front? I'm trying to have a look here right now. So he can see a train of cars going on in front of him. So he needs to try and catch up to them as much as he can and possibly get through the chaos that's happening out in front. Let's see how much time he takes him to actually break that gap down. 2.1 seconds is what is that. They might get a bit held up out in front. Might actually save him some time in terms of catching up to them. Ryan there 5.6 seconds behind that. Drew Camp, who's joining the session, he's in 11th right now and running. Trying to get as much positions as he can when I move back up the order and see what's happening out in front here. Looks like we got one of the Aston Martins in the mix of this right now. He's now into 6th, and that's B. Wheeler there. 3/10 behind the McLaren. I think he had a bit of an issue out front because didn't take a pit stop. Doesn't seem like he has damage on the car, but he's going to keep going. And now he's in a mix with these guys in the midfield here, trying to fight for position. Ellis out of the session, unfortunately. I think she was aware that we were having a second race, so I'm not sure if there was any connection to the car or not in the session. Alright, so out in front of this, we got the 210 gap between Angry Dutch guy and Wayne there. B. Wader still chasing after them though. And we're going to keep on with him for the moment to see how this works out. Aaron Riley there in 8. 310 gap to about Mini there. Still going to follow on through. We got a bit of an issue down in the back here. Something's happened with the Alfa Romeos. I'm not sure what's happened there. So looks like it's Bad Mini having trying to get the car back around. Definitely has damage on that front wing as he tries to get back going. And I think his teammate, where is Woody Ryder? He's missing his entire front wing, so it might have been contact between both Alfa Romeos, which is not going to be a good response from that team there in terms of having the debrief down at the end of the session. Not sure what that's going to be like, but they might have had contact with each other. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. We don't have a safety car. It might just been a yellow flag in the scenario of that sector of the track. But we're going to continue on racing, at least for now, getting on through here. Out in front, Larson still leads 14.3 seconds ahead. Dunner is now into 2nd. We had Angry Dutch guy running up into 3rd. B. Wheeler just behind of that. Aaron Riley running behind of him, followed by Joseph, who's currently a 2nd behind the Alpine now. So he's catching up and breaking the gap down pretty quickly. I think the yellow flag might have helped him with what happened to both of the Alfa Romeos there. Both of them into the pits right now, going to be stacked up against each other. So Woody Ryder getting in first, Rad Mini in just behind of his teammate there. We'll see how that works out for them. Alright, at the moment we're currently following on with Wayne here in the McLaren. He's chasing after Joseph right now, fighting for a 7th position. If he can get it, it's a 210 gap between him and Joseph in the Ferrari out in front. That Ferrari, of course, trying to catch up to the Alpine in front of him with Aaron Riley in it. So let's see what that works out between them. We still got some debris on track as these cars are getting over it. Hopefully no punctures in that case. We have a safety car happening there right now. I'm not sure why we didn't have a safety car in the previous incident. Era 6 is out of the session. And we got no overtaking to be happening on this current occasion here. We might see some pit stops as these cars get around back to that pit entry there. So 2 drivers out of the session so far as we have here. Currently on with Wayne as he gets on through this. We got Riley behind of him, Joseph behind of that. Everyone getting into the pits. B. Wheeler in the Aston Martin getting in as well. Looks like that Ferrari, I think that's Joseph there, did not get into the pit, sorry. So he's going to be staying out. And he now, let's see where he goes. So looks like he's going to go up into the lead of the race. We got Lance Larson, who's going to take over 2nd place now. He did do a stop. So I think the only driver out in front who didn't stop here right now is Joseph at the moment. He now takes over the lead, gonna follow under behind the safety car. Larson, of course, now running in second. Went on to the hard tires there, so we'll see what the strategy change from him is gonna work out to be here, because he's now gone to the hard. It's gonna push for quite a long stint on this one. Got Dunners on fresh softs running in P4, looking to do another stop definitely there. Angry Dutch guy now running in 5th. We got Wayne now in 6th. Aaron Riley in 7th. B Wheeler in 8th. Drew in 9th. We got Ryan there in 10th. Lewis in 11th. Both of them in the pits. Let's see when they're getting back out. Woody Rader currently 12th. As he now gets up into 11. Lewis now down to 12. Battle Mini running 13. Jack in 14. Got Deadcon in 15. Walsey there in 16. Both Mercedes all the way down at the back of the grid. 15th and 16th right now. Not looking too good in terms of points here. So out in front, Joseph is going to lead, follow on behind the safety car as we get on through with this. Okay, so back on with this. We're still under the safety car, getting through lap 9 at that moment here. Hopefully we can get the safety car back in the pits at the end of this lap, get back racing. I'm not sure if that's the case. We might be looking at one more lap under the safety car. Of course, now as we can see, most of the cars have taken their stops already. Only driver in this session who has not taken a stop as yet is going to be Joseph, currently leading the pack, who's still running behind the safety car here. Of course, we got Nancy Dawson behind of him, Durners behind of him, Angry Dutch as well, Aaron Riley, and the rest of them on the grid, all going to be looking at getting past him out in front when that restart happens. So he's going to have to be extremely careful. Going to have a very hard time with Larson and Dunners just so close out behind of him on a very fresh tires as well. They might be looking at getting an overtake done very, very quickly after that restart happens. So he's going to have to just be a bit careful in terms of just trying to keep the lead of the race for as long as he can until he's ready to do a pit stop at this point. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. Currently 8 laps only done, and that set of tires. We'll probably look at a potential 2-stop strategy here from him here as well. We'll see what he decides to do getting started with this. Looks like the safety car is going away right about now, so we should be able to get back started here. Larson getting extremely close to the Ferrari in front of him there, so he's going to be under a lot of pressure getting through that. Dunners, they're going to possibly try and keep as close as he can as well. They're about to get back started here, getting through around to the start finish straight, and their track is green, so we're back going again as they all get across the line. Let's see how it goes between Joseph and Larson out in front. So a pretty close gap when I get on board with the horse here for the moment and see how that's working out. So far so good as he chases after him. Gonna have a pretty good run. Gap is about 2 tenths between them, so highly doubt Joseph will be able to hold on for this lead for much longer. Those traits are going to give him a bit of a disadvantage as that horse is using the slipstream. Now gets alongside him on the outside. He's going to try to push all his way around and almost having a bit of contact there. Not sure if they had a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, but Larson gets out in front. He's now up into the lead. Joseph down to second. We got Dunners is going to now chase after him for second place if that's going to be possible. We'll see what happens. Lewis there with Bad Mini fighting for a position down there in P10. Looks like the Red Bull is up into 10th right now. We'll see what's happening as they get on through with the rest of this session. 6/10 is where the gap is between Larson and Joseph after that safety car restart into lap 10 right now. Dunners here 1.2 seconds behind and he's still going to fight on through. We're now on with Aaron Riley here. 4/10 is where the gap is to him and Angry Dutch out in front of him. And that's going to continue on through at least for now. I think B. Wheeler there in 6th, about half a second behind. Woody Rather and Drew Camp switching positions down in the back. Let's have a look at what's happening with that case. So it looks like Woody Rather is now up into 7. Drew Camp running in 8. And everyone's still running a bit of a train getting on through after the safety car here, except for Larson there. He's out in front by 1.8 seconds. A bit of contact, I think, almost between Aaron Riley and Angry Dutch guy there. Let's see what that continues on through. So into the next lap, or into lap 11 right about now. Wheeler 4/10 behind this. Woody Rather another 2/10 behind. So gaps are getting closer and closer as we get through this current lap. I'm not able to say any time, so just we're gonna have a look on board with these guys, see how this is actually working out right about now. We're gonna get back on the overhead cam with Aaron Riley, see how close he's gonna be to that AlphaTauri. He's trying to get around alongside him to get an overtake down here, not able to put it through as well. Angry Dutch guy gonna be under a lot of pressure on this current lap, trying to keep that position as it is there right now. We do have the Aston Martin of B. Wheeler trying to come alongside them there. He's trying to catch up. Of course, Woody Rather now gets up ahead of him. I think he went a bit wide on that previous turn. So we got the Alfa Romeo of Woody Rather up into 6. B. Wheeler down to 7. Drew following behind them in 8. Ryan there in 9. And Lewis in 10th. Also Battle Mini in 11. Very close gaps within 2 to 3 seconds of each other as they continue on through this. We have that Alpine looking on the inside of the AlphaTauri, still trying to get an overtake done, almost having some contact with Woody Rather behind of him. Only a 10th is what the gap is, so he's not going to be looking to get alongside of these guys. Possibly trying to get 2 overtakes done instead of just 1 here if he can, or possibly just follow Aaron Riley through on his overtake. Let's see what that's going to work out. We do have the Aston Martin of B. Wheeler still coming on through behind of this. 4/10 is what his gap is. Out in front, gap is extended between Joseph and Larson right now. 4.4 seconds. Dunners is a 0.7 second behind the Ferrari. So he's trying to keep his gap under a second to keep the DRS advantage as long as he can. And yep, Joseph is actually doing pretty well out in front, holding on to second place right about now, keeping Dunners behind. Of course, remember, Dunners is on fresh, soft tires, so he has that advantage. We got another safety car happening here. Something's happening somewhere down in the back of the grid. I'm not sure what it is. We're down to 14 drivers, and we got another safety car with this. So let's see what's going to happen. Larson leading, Joseph in second. Does he do a pit stop on this occasion, though? Let's have a look at how that's going to work out, because we already passed the pit lane entrance into lap 12, so he's gonna have to wait until he gets all the way back around to do a stop on this current occasion here. He's done 11 laps on that set of mediums already. Will he possibly transition to a set of hards to go to the end of the race, or just push this set of mediums a bit further on into the session, then choose maybe a set of softs on a bit of an aggressive strategy, pushing it to the end of the race? We'll see what that situation was going to work out to be. Larson's still out front. He's going to continue, of course, now going to take a stop. He's currently on hards, but we never know. He could potentially decide to take out a stop and go on to maybe a set of mediums, pushing all the way to the end, because I think it could last from this point going there. Joseph there, so I want to see what his strategy change is going to be. Donner's there running with the softs behind. Highly doubt he's going to do a stop. Angry Dutch guy running 3 laps on his hards. Aaron Riley behind of that as well. Let's see what the order is going to be as they get around on this current lap here. They all have to go and catch back up to the safety car, which is after the pit lane exit right now, so they can't take a stop and still get all back in front of him. Let's see what's going to be the order though, because Larson only has a 5.5 second gap to the car behind of him. and running on the safety car at the moment, so still has to run with a positive delta here just to avoid speeding under the safety car and getting a penalty for that, and that does result in a drive-through penalty which you cannot serve during this portion of the session here. So we have the Ferrari about to go into the pits here. Where is Larson at the moment? Did he do a stop? No, he did not do a stop. He's going to continue on out in front. So Joseph getting into the pit lane. Let's see what his strategy change is going to be at this point. And looks like it's a set of hearts, so you can see the guys getting it out. So he's going to go into a set of hearts. He's going to push to the end of the race on that set. Not going to plan on doing another stop here. Let's see how this works out. So we got a few cars did some stops. They're going to go back out in front with Larson and Darners here running in second now. Now following on under behind the safety car. We should be running a lap or 2 lap at least before we get back racing. So we're looking possibly at the end of maybe lap 15 or maybe the end of lap 14 before we do get back racing. So into lap 15 possibly here. Okay, so let's have a look and see. We're getting to sector 2 here at the moment. Should be getting to sector 3 pretty soon. Let's see if we're about to get back racing at the end of this lap. I highly doubt it though. We should be going one more lap under the safety car before we get this race back on the way again. So far looking pretty good. We got 4 drivers currently out of the session though. 14 remain at the moment as it is. Larson leading, Durners in second, Angry Dutch Guy in third, Woody Rather runs fourth, B Whaler in fifth, Drew runs 6, Ryan runs 7, Lewis in 8. Of course, you saw the P1 had a disconnection at the start of the race, fell all the way down to about 12 or 13 position. Wayne running 9, Batman Menu running 10, Joseph down to 11 after taking his stop, was running second. We got Mad Max there 12, Aaron Riley 13, and Jack there 14 at the moment. Looks like we're gonna go possibly just one more lap under the safety car here. We're just waiting until we get to the end of this current lap just to confirm now. Got quite a few more penalties on this current lap here as we get on through this compared to the 25% race. So there we go. Looks like we're going one more lap under the safety car just to finish off this one here. Hopefully no more safety cars to get to the end because we're approaching that halfway point of the race there right now. And as they go around that final lap before we get back started, I'll be back in just a second. And looks like Mad Max is currently second on his screen according to Keely here, where what you're seeing in the moment. That's why Donna is leading a gap. So it does explain quite a lot on that there. So we're gonna have to work with how we see it here because I'm not sure what's happening. It's just going all. That's why the leaderboard just keeps switching around. I think the leaderboard itself just confused with what's happening in the game. Okay, so we're gonna work with the results that the guys put together. By the end of the next session, we're back racing again. Let's see how this is going between Donners and Larson here, so we can understand what the gap is between the two. Then, so it should be Mad Max in second place. Kind of strange as we're having you just see a gap that's there, and he's showing P1. We're just gonna work with it as it is there, but that's us explaining a gap. Explain quite a lot actually. So we got let's see what's happening on the back here, because I think we got, would you rather, a pretty close gap with Angry Dutch guy. So this should be 5th and 6th, I assume then. Oh, actually, should be 4th. Oh, there we go. So now Mad Max is showing in the correct position as he should be. There we have it. So now we can see what's actually happening on screen here, and a bit of contact between Donners and the Ferrari of Mad Max there. He's still going though. A bit more contact between him. Oh, and that's not ending too well. They're just plummeting him all around the track now, aren't they? I'm not sure, are they seeing him or not? I'm not sure what's happening on his end, but he's gonna try and get back going. He's all the way down to 14th now. That was quite a bit of an incident happening there. Alright, so as we get on back through this, so Larson running P1, we got Turner's now running second, we got Woody Rather up into third. He's chasing after the Aston Martin in front of him. Let's see how that's working through. Did not look like it went too well for Mad Max on that one there. It's like everyone just rushing out of a room and just trampling you all the way through. I think that's what just happened with him, and that Ferrari getting through on that portion of the track there. A bit unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way we see it. Would you rather there 310 gap to the Aston Martin front? Let's see how that works out for him. Looking to get a pretty good overtake done here. He's going to take it on the inside, getting a bit squeezed as well, but the Aston Martin pulls back on the outside, side by side through into turn 1 and 2. Let's see how they hold on through with this. Larson still into the lead of the race as he gets on through. Donner's back up into second. Would you rather still running third now? And Jamie Lee has liked the stream as well. Thank you very much for that. Very, very much appreciate everybody like giving the stream a like there as we get on through this. So Turner's here still running. Now he's back down to third. So a bit of a switch between the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin as they get on through this. So I think there's going to be a pretty good fight between these two for second place on the podium. Of course, the top three in the race so far not having any penalties is going to be interesting in that as well. We're on the halfway point, getting through past the halfway point of this race. Onto lap 16 right now. We'll be into lap 17 pretty soon. Angry Dutch guy running just behind this B-Wheel running 5th. He's about 5'10" behind. I'm trying to have a look at the gap down in the midfield with Ryan, Batmini, and Lewis. Pretty close up between Batmini and Lewis and Joseph there as well. Let's have a look what's happening with these three as they get through the Ferrari, trying to take it a bit wide around the outside. Has an Alpine behind of him. I think that is the Riley coming there as well. And yep, it is. So 210 gap is what it's down to. That Red Bull is definitely under some pressure as these guys get on through here. Bit of a difference on the strategy as well as they go on through, but it's working for some of these drivers as they're trying to gain positions through the session going on so far. Out in front, Larson, of course, no surprise there. He's still leading this race. 4.5 seconds is what the lead is currently as it is. Would you rather currently into second, 4.6 seconds behind. He's trying to catch up, but not having the best of advantage. There, we do have DRS now back online. We got a bit of an issue down in the track on that Ryan here, I think it is, or yep, it is. It's Ryan in the McLaren and somebody else, I think Drew. I'm not sure, was it Drew? Somebody and that McLaren had a potential issue there. He's now getting into the pits to get that repaired. I'm surprised that was not a safety car. Seemed to be a lot of debris on track as they got on through it out there. Let's get back down into the midfield here with Joseph and Lewis and Riley behind of him. Still finding good positions here, so let's see how this works out for them. On with the Ferrari right about now. Chasing after that Red Bull still has the Alpine chasing after him. And then Jack just behind, 2.6 seconds behind. He's trying to catch up as much as he can. Looks like Mad Max is back up into 10 so far from what we can see. And B Wheeler's into the pits there as well, along with Ryan. Not sure if he was potentially involved in any of the incident currently happened early on. So these three are going to still be at it here out in front. Of course, Lawson is going to continue to lead. We'll see how long that continues on. If Would You Rather will be able to catch up to him or not. He's of course on the medium tires, which I'm not sure if it works as well around here. We'll see how that goes on through, because it could potentially be, even with the temperature on track, that the hards might just be a better choice running here. Angry Dutch here running on those hards as well. We got Joseph running on the hards as well as Riley and Jack here. Three of them chasing after each other at the moment. We got Riley down in 8th. Has about a 6'10" gap to Joseph in front. Of course, Joseph, they're looking to get that overtake done on the Red Bull of Lewis in front of him. I think these guys are going to continue on through as it is here right now on lap 18 and going on through. Okay, so it looks like the Alpine is starting to close in just a bit more on the Ferrari of Joseph here. Gap is about 2 tenths and going on just a bit below that. Wayne gets the fastest lap time so far. He's running 11th and running. Got the Ferrari trying to pull alongside that Red Bull, not getting it done as yet though. Still has to hold on to the race line as he has it. The Alpine behind of him, trying to get alongside him right now. Needs to be a bit careful in terms of attempting this overtake at this point. Might end up losing more positions than I was hoping to gain if they do make a mistake at this point. That means they are a 9-10 gap that he currently has with Angry Dutch guy, and they've been chasing after each other a while as well in those positions. We do have quite a few penalties on track here. We'll see how that works out with the drivers as they get on through this session. At about average about 14 laps or so remaining before we get to the end here. Joseph really pushing on through right about now. As you can see, he's closed the gap so well on the Red Bull, but just having a difficult time lining himself up for an overtake at this point here, because he does have to be extremely careful about how he attempts it on exactly which sector or which portion of the track he does try to get it done. Aaron Riley just behind of this, he's trying to follow that Ferrari through wherever he goes at this point, keeping his gap below 3 tenths as much as he can as well. Not sure what position Mad Max is in at the moment. Somewhere just below this, I assume he should be. But down the start finish rate into lap 19 right about now. We got Aaron Riley trying to take it on the inside of turn 1, but looks like he has to just give that up for now. Was a pretty good attempt at trying to get that overtake down there though, but unfortunately not able to get past the Ferrari of Joseph. He's able to hold up that position. Lewis still able to hold off out in front there in 7th, and it's only a 10th is what the gap is. Now side by side with Joseph as they get on through this. Got the Red Bull now down behind. He's now down into 7. Joseph gets the overtake down. He's down into 6. And he's going to chase after Balmini out in front. He has to hold the position here though. So he needs to extend his lead just a bit by at least a few tenths. He's now ahead by about 4 tenths. He needs to carry that at least about 8 and get it over a second at best if he can. Thank you very much, Serious Mushroom. Do appreciate that. Love having you guys on the stream chat as well. I see Riley's still down there in 8. He's still chasing after Lewis here, of course. His gap is still close off as what he had with Joseph, and Joseph was down in 6, but I'm not sure. Oh, there he goes. So he finally gets the overtake done. He gets ahead of the Red Bull, but that Red Bull is going to fight it back at this point. They're still trying to go side by side, but the Red Bull holds up the position into the turn, so has to just let it go at this point. And not enough straights to hold it on long enough to try to get an overtake done. As we said, here at the circuit, it's very difficult here in Singapore to try and get an overtake done. It just depends on how good you are at overtaking on this track. Because you really do have to know at exactly which point you can get an overtake done, what the gaps need to be, and looks like we do have the Red Bull going into the pits here right now. Currently 10 laps on those mediums, going to switch on possibly to the softs and take it to the end of the race. I assume it's what his strategy is going to be. We're on with Balmini here in the Alfa Romeo, chasing after Angry Dutch guy in the AlphaTauri in front of him. This is a fight currently, as we can see, for 5th position on screen, or possibly even 4th position, because we're seeing Mad Max up in P1, so possibly it's for 4th. We'll see how that works. So just a fight between an Alfa Romeo and an AlphaTauri. Let's put it that way at this point. And going, I think it's for 4th right now, because Mad Max is not currently in P1 at the moment. I think he's somewhere down, maybe in 10th, 11th, somewhere around there. Where is we're waiting for Keely. Keely's gonna let us know where he is on the grid. Oh, there he is. He's in 10th right now. Maybe the game actually hurt us on that one there. So that meaning 2 tenths is what his gap is. As Joseph has been breaking the gap down very quickly. He's now 5 tenths behind. And we can see the Ferrari coming behind here, and Aaron Riley's following him as well. So they're going to follow each other out all the way out in front. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Angry Dot guy under a lot of pressure, about 3 to 4, at least 3 cars behind of him, fighting for positions and trying to fight for his position in this race. So he needs to keep P4 as much as he can. Battle, meaning they are not having a penalty, of course, Angry Dutch guy with a penalty. So this is going to make it just that more interesting to see how it works out. knowing you have a penalty, you're really going to want to hold on to your position as much as you can, but trying to hold on to it, being under that much of pressure from 3 drivers behind, it can lead to you taking another penalty on. So really not a good point on that end. So they're going to have to just be very careful on what they do at this point here, while Battle Mini trying to get this position up as much as he can. Looks like someone's going into the pits here, and looks like it might be the Alfa Romeo or Battle Mini getting in. Joseph is now automatically up into 6th place. He's going to chase after Angry Dutch guy in front of him. 6/10 is what the gap is, and a pretty close gap is what it is. Aaron Riley down in 7th. He's following on behind as well. Let's have a look on board, see how this looks from his angle here. And that gap is decreasing as we continue on through this race. Down to about 5/10. Aaron Riley, of course, keeping his gap about 3/10. And penalties, that is, of course, no trouble. We can get that online, see what that's like at the moment here. We know what the tire situation is, so let's have a look at the penalties. 8 seconds currently for Mad Max. Of course, he's down a few orders there. Lance Larson leading the race, no penalties for him. He has a gap of 6.5 seconds though to the car behind, so he's working with a pretty good gap. Even if he gets a 3-second penalty, not going to affect him that much. We got Donuts running in 3rd, no penalty as well. Angry Dutch got 5 seconds though, Joseph 3 seconds, so not too far off. If he keeps this up, he's looking at potentially getting up to 5 Donuts for P3 in this race, because a 3.4 second gap between Angry Dutch guy there and Donuts for P3. Not too far off. We got just average of just under 11 laps remaining in the race. Quite enough time to actually get this done. Aaron Riley though, not having any penalties is something to just keep an eye out for here, because the next 2 drivers on the grid without any penalties is Riley and Battle Mini at the moment, and they're not running too far down the order here. They're looking at potentially getting some serious points at the end of this race. We'll see how that works out. Riley here definitely looking to get by that Ferrari. Angry Dutch got under a lot of pressure right now. 2 cars fighting for a position behind of him and also fighting for his position here. So let's see how this works out. Potential P4 is what they're currently going for as they get around to get into the lap 22 at this point here right now. And let's get telemetry online as well. You can see when these guys do decide to use the ERS and how much they actually have. Looks like Riley is down on that. He only has about 14% ERS on that car. Let's see what Joseph has, 22%. In front of that, we do have Angry Dutch guy under pressure. He's using everything he has right now on that straight, down to 3%. And not going to help him too much because he's going to have to recharge. The Ferrari getting alongside him, trying to line up that overtake and get it done. But holds on to the racing line for now. Does want to risk it. Might just keep an eye and look for some sort of just a bit of a mistake of the Tory driver to get an overtake done with. He has to be very careful because he does have Aaron Riley behind of him trying to get his overtake done with as well, because he's looking to get up into a podium position if he can. As it is right now, Larson leads by 8 seconds against Woody Ryder there. These 2 running P1 and P2 on the driver standings at the moment. Angry Dutch guy here down in 3rd. He's trying to keep a podium position here. Of course, going to be losing that to Joseph here. 2 tenths behind of him. That Ferrari looking to get across the line P3 if he can. And of course, on the pressure tires, working pretty well for him. Behind that, we got Riley. I think he's on the medium still. I'm trying to have a look on what that is he's currently on. We'll switch back to that in just a bit. But at the moment, on lap 23, getting through to this, made up a similar strategy with most of these guys in. As you can see, most of the grid with penalties so far. We're going to switch this back through the tires to see how this works on through. We got a few cars on some fresh soft tires running in the midfield as well. We'll see how that works out for them. Angry Dutch guy under severe pressure right now to hold on to this position. Let's see how that's working for him, because it looks like Riley and Joseph definitely going to try and get ahead. And this might be a matter of a few laps to come ahead here for them to get this overtake done. Let's see. I want to have a look on board here with the Ferrari right now. See how close he's actually getting. Riley behind of him has a similar situation going on to try and get this overtake done. They cannot make a mistake at this point. DRS advantage for the Ferrari here. Down that bit of straight along with the Alpine behind of him, having the DRS advantage from him as well by being within a second. Of course, running out of straight very, very quickly. So gonna have to just keep the gap as close as he can, possibly land up an overtake, maybe down the start finish straight. We'll see how that works out to be. ERS is on the downside right about now because they don't have a lot of that left. They're trying to use as much as they can down the straight to keep their positions on track here. We'll bring penalties back online on the final 2 laps of the race to see how that's going to work out with drivers in terms of keeping or losing their positions, because we have is either going to be Joseph or Aaron Riley here getting onto a podium position here. It might just be Riley if he plays this right. He's currently into 5th. He needs to get that car into P4 at this point here to get away with the final podium position. But it's going to be a tough call. He's trying to get around the Florida Joseph, and Joseph trying to get around Angry Dutch guy at the moment and having a bit of a difficult time with this. That AlphaTauri driver not giving up on this fight to get across the line for P3. We got Woody Ryder into the pit. This is going to change things up just a bit here right now. He's currently into the pits. Let's see if these guys get around and get past him as they get around here. This might be leading to Joseph getting up into P3 automatically if they get this done. And they're getting past that pit lane right about now. Woody Ryder is down to 5th. It's down to 6th right now. So this was Angry Dutch up to 2nd. Joseph down to up to 3rd. And we got Riley up into 4th. Of course, with the penalty situation as it is, looks like Riley might actually make it up into a podium position. And Vidosky, of course, might be losing out on that. Larson still leading this race. Let's see how that works. So the Ferrari is still trying to get by. We do have Wayne here in the McLaren trying to get around the Alpine down in the back. It looks like he gets in position up. He's up into 5th, of course, with penalties as well. Let's have a look at his penalties quickly if we can. It's a 9-second penalty for the McLaren driver. He gets up into 5th though, still looking at losing back that position there to Aaron Riley just behind. We'll see what the situation comes to be at the end of this race. Lap 24 of 31. We got about 7 laps or so remaining before we close off this session, and it's been quite interesting during the 50% race. The 25% race was a lot of fun to watch, but still we got a lot more interesting battles going on in this race. Maybe this race because it's a bit longer as well, and they have a lot more time to fight for these positions as they get on through this. Let's switch this back over the tires for now. Actually, let's have a quick look at position changes. Looks like Joseph has gained the most position this race so far, so potentially looking at a podium position and potentially looking at finishing with driver of the day here as well. We'll see how that works out for him. 10 laps done on those hard tires so far. 2 cars in front of him running on older hard tires, so should have that bit of advantage, and he's still a 310 gap to Angry Dutch guy in front of him. He's still looking to get that overtake done. He's keeping as close as he can without taking any damage at this point here right now, as we go into lap 25, and got a 10th is where the gap is with the McLaren coming behind of him. So this is going to get a bit tricky now with Joseph holding on to that position. Looks like Wayne is getting out in front. He's going to get up into 3rd position now. And also we got Aaron Riley trying to fight that Ferrari for now for another position. Let's see if he gets it through. I think they're all still side by side. Woody Ryder getting around into this. 3 cars going wide into the next turn, and this might not end too well. Did not end too well for the Ferrari driver. His entire front wing is gone. That's Joseph directly down into 7. Will have to take a stop, and that's potentially his race over here at the moment in terms of getting the amount of points he was looking to get. A bit of an unfortunate situation there. Had a feeling that was not going to end too well. He's currently running in 6th right now, but of course he does have to take that stop. If it was the final lap, he could have tried pushing on through to the end, but he's going to have to take a stop, get that front wing replaced, and that might be dealt with the stewards afterwards. Out in front, we still got Larson leading. Looks like we got do we have Mad Max back up to 2nd? No, he's not on the 2nd. He's down to 12. Woody Ryder is now running into 2nd. 34 seconds behind Larson. I'm not sure if that timing is correct, but that's what it's showing on my end here right now. We're into lap 26. Riley running into 3rd now. We got Angry Dutch guy running in 4th. Wayne chasing after him, currently in 5th in the McLaren here. Let's see how that works out. 310 is where the gap is. Closest gap we have as he get on through. He's getting a wrong Angry Dutch guy. He gets up into 4th. Dutch guy down to 5th. So quite an interesting change up in the session so far. And let's see how they finish this off. We got just about 5 laps or so remaining to get to the end of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's looking pretty well so far. Larson here looking, of course, for another win to extend his lead in the championship. We'll see if that's going to continue. He did not get the win, of course, for the 25% race earlier on. Still finishing a pretty good position. Got some points in. And because of that bit of issue we have with Mad Max moving around the grid order at the moment, we'll have a look at the full results, the official results for this session, entire session here, next week on round 3 when we get around to that, then we'll have it a look at it at the start of qualifying, because remember, we do have usually a short qualifying session, 25% race, then a 50% race here with Late Night Racing League on the Tuesday at nights as they get on through their session. So 13 drivers still remain in the session as we get on through it. We're into lap 26. We're looking at our closest gap. Currently, it's Donner's here in P8 at the moment, or probably P7. I think it is P7. Yeah, it is P7. Has a few tenths to the car in front of him, and just getting over a second with that right now. Looks like Riley gets another penalty. Larson into the pits right now, getting onto a fresh set of soft tires. 33 seconds. Oh, and we got Aaron Riley out of the session. What's happened to his car? And there is his Alpine into the wall there. I'm not sure what happened. Had a bit of a gap to the car in front and behind. So might have just lost the rear. Maybe a bit of oversteer. I'm not sure what happened with that car there. We are on with a safety car currently close up to the end of the race here right now. This is going to put a pause on quite a few interesting things to happen. Let's see what happens. Out in front, Larson took a stop. He's back out already on fresh soft tires. Woody Ratter is now 8.1 seconds behind him. He's not going to be able to catch up to him, of course, under the safety car, but he's on fresh tires, so I don't think it's going to bother him too much. We got Wayne running third, now Angry Dutch Guy running fourth. And the orders change up just a bit. We'll see how that works out with a few cars taking stops down to the end portion of this. We're on lap 27. We're potentially looking at maybe who need the final 2 laps to be racing laps here at the end, similar to what we had happen on the 25% race. We'll see how that works out. We're down to 12 drivers remaining now. Hopefully all 12 are connected. Alright, so we're going to wait for everyone to get back out to the pits, get this order sorted. So let's see what's happening. So Joseph is out, Riley's out. Joseph had a serious incident earlier on, losing entire front wing, falling quite down the order. So I think he's retired in the pits. That's going to leave us with now, I think 11 cars maybe. Yep, 11 cars now left in this race to get to the end. We'll see how we're going to be able to finish this off here, because still under the safety car. Gaps are starting to close in at the moment here. We got Woody Ryder into the pits. Is he stopping a drive-through penalty, or is he doing a pit stop? I can't really tell. Looks like he's doing a pit stop, because he does have a 33-second gap to Wayne behind of him. Getting onto a new set of softs. I'm going to get back out. So it does have the time advantage to him to actually do that stop there. So let's see if that's going to work for him. Smith, we got Wayne, sorry, coming behind fourth. What's his gap behind? I'm trying to have, the gap is a bit not so sorted right about now because of the leaderboard getting a bit mixed up. It's not too far, I think it's a few seconds behind, not too far off at the moment. Darn is here currently running, I think, 5th, chasing after Bad Mini there. Still on the safety car going. Let's see when that safety car decides to go back in. Might be at the end, potentially, of lap 29. We're going to have to wait this out and see what happens. Alright, so on board with Larson right about now, who is following on behind the safety car on this current lap. Looks like we will be going just one more lap onto the safety car before getting back this race on the way. An unfortunate situation because it's so close down to the end of the race. It's only going to leave us with lap 30 and 31 as racing laps. well, lap 29 as well, I guess. So 3 laps, the final 3 laps to be racing laps in this race. We'll see what's going to happen as we get around to that. I think Larson getting a bit impatient there right about now. Let's bring penalties online. We know everyone's running mostly on fresh tires, as we can see there, so we're just going to leave penalties online to go to the end of the session with this. So as it's looking so far, Larson without any penalty, Woody Ryder without any penalty, and Wayne only a 9-second penalty, but still a 9-second penalty going to cost him a podium position here apparently. Batman, there are no penalties for him. Donner 0, 5 seconds, Angry Dodge Guy with 5 seconds, Lewis 9, we got Jack there with 3, Drew with 3, Reiner 6, and Mad Max with 3 at the moment. Not sure what position Mad Max is in at the moment, unless that leaderboard gets sorted back. I think most of our cars are now caught up back behind the safety car queue. We should be ready to get going at the end of this current lap. Looks like Mad Max is currently in 9th at the moment there. So as we can see, Larson running out in front, Woody Ryder in second, Wayne running in third, but that 9-second penalty will cost him up the final podium position here. He's going to have to take fourth, and Battle Mini will be able to take away third position in this race, at least from him. We'll see how that works out. Anything could happen in the final 3 laps of the race, so we'll see what happens by the time we get around to that. Waiting for these guys to get back. We started here. Should be getting into sector 3 pretty soon down at the end of this straight here. Okay, so safety car back in, and we should be getting back racing here again. Let's see how this is going to go between Woody Ryder and Wayne there for that position. Larson's going to try to extend his lead out in front as much as he can here. I think he got Drew just in the middle of that getting through, so Larson already getting away out in front. About a 5-10 gap between Woody Ryder and Wayne, trying to fight for second place. Let's see how that works out between them. Battle May falling back about 1.4 seconds. Still going to be able to get away with third place at the end of this. We're on lap 30 at the moment here, so final 2 laps of racing that's currently remaining. If that equation is correct, yep, it is correct so far. So on to lap 30. Let's see how this works out as we get on through this. I think just Drew in the middle of that being ghosted there as see what's happening here. So Woody Ryder down to third. 3/10 is where the gap is. I think he had a bit of an error there, caused him down to go down to third. So the McLaren is up into second. He's going to hold on to that. Of course, he does have that 9-second penalty, which will affect him in the session here. 2.1 seconds, so the race leader out in front, not going to be able to catch up to that. I think with the remaining laps that we currently have left, having a look in the midfield right about now, see what's happening. And some pretty close gaps, but it's starting to extend just a bit on this final 2 laps we have going here. Still back on here with Woody Ryder. Gap is now up to a second between him and the McLaren, so he's losing out quite a bit here, losing his lead gap that he currently has. So it doesn't look like he might be able to get back to position to get across the line, but he still by default will be able to get second place at the end of this session here. Wayne, of course, looking to get across the line in second, even though he's not going to be able to keep it. He's potentially looking at losing at least 2 positions. He's going to be down into P4. We're going to have Woody Ryder go up into second. Battle Mini going to go up into third, and might be a switch between the 2 of them since Woody Ryder has a 3-second penalty. So it looks like Battle Mini looking to get up into second place on the podium. We'll see how it works out as we get to the end of this. We can have a look at the penalties just to work that through. Only drivers without any penalties right now is Larson and Battle Mini here, and Larson leading out front by 2.5 seconds. He is looking to get a race win here this evening. Into the final lap here already as they're getting through to this. Alright, trying to follow on down in the midfield. What's happening with Angry Dutch guy chasing after Donners right now? 8/10 is what the gap is. That's a pretty close gap, but I highly doubt he's going to be able to make an overtake happen unless Donners makes some sort of mistake on the final sector coming on through here. For some reason I can already hear fireworks going on through. And we haven't had anybody get across the finish line for the final lap as yet. We're on the moment here with Lance Larson in the Haas, looking to extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship so far, as he's currently leading it, and he now gets a 3-second penalty, which really won't matter at this point as he's leading by 2.7 seconds. Driver behind of him has a 12-second penalty. Driver behind of that has a 3-second penalty. And looks like Battle Mini is possibly going to be losing a position here. Just depends on how this works out to be. His gap between him and Woody Ryder is now 2.2 seconds, as we have Larson gets across the final turn and gets across the line, takes the win for the Singapore Grand Prix for the 50% race. Woody Ryder currently takes second place on the podium. Sorry, third place on the podium. Battle Mini goes up into second, just because of that penalty situation. Durners is going to finish third, and we got Wayne all the way down into fifth now because of his penalty. Down to 6 actually. Down to 7th now. What if he's going to go down even more? Let's just leave that at the moment as it is. So Angry Dutch guy takes 5th. Jack takes 6th. We got Mad Max finishing in 7th. We got Wayne, he gets across the line in 8th. Lewis here getting around the final sector right about now. He should be taking 9th. Drew takes 10th, and Ryan will take 11th as it is there. Unfortunate for the drivers that could not finish the race. We still do have 11 drivers getting across the line, so let's see how that works out for them. I think Ryan there will be the final driver we'll have to wait on to get across the finish line. So there goes Lewis, gets across the line, takes 9th, Drew into 10th. And we're waiting for the McLaren of Ryan to get around. Both McLaren still finishing this race, so not too bad on that point for them. As he gets around the final turn, so he's going to take 11th place on the grid and spins along on the final chicane there. So I'm not sure if that was intentionally done or not. We did wait as the end of the race there, guys, for the 50% race. We're going to have a look at the preliminary results that we have here on screen for this 50% race. Combined results will be announced at the start of round 3 next week, Tuesday, when we do get started with that one there. So let's just have a look at the results here for this session, at least. Alright, so race winner there. Larson there takes the win for the 50% race, takes fastest lap as well. We got Bad Mini finishing second on the podium. Woody Ryder takes third on the podium with them, so not a bad finish for the top 3. Alfa Romeo finishing both cars second and third on the grid, so I think some good points for the team there. Darnazer takes 4th place on the grid. Angry Dutch guy in 5th. Jack there 6th. We got Mad Max in 7th. Wayne there 8th. Lewis in 9th, Drew in 10th, and Ryan in 11th. And that's for drivers who did finish the race. Unfortunate for the rest of the drivers who could not finish the race here this evening. Unfortunate for that. Thank you guys for joining on the session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that race session, enjoyed the commentary as well. And please don't forget to leave a like on the video here on YouTube. Remember, this stream is also live on Twitch, also live on Facebook. All links, if you do want to have the links, that currently should be in the description of this video. If not, do join the Discord. Discord link is in the description of the video to join on and have a view at a few other things here as well that we do on the channel. So thank you guys once again for joining on the session. We should have another stream tomorrow evening, somewhere around the same time. So it's not scheduled in the Discord as yet. Next esports stream is scheduled for Wednesday evening, and that's going to be a bit later on in the evening, as it's going to be one of the US leagues. So we should be doing something tomorrow, something maybe a bit different but a bit interesting. So do check the Discord for an update on that, guys. So I'll see you guys on the next stream.